Hey everybody, we're doing the Dragon Cast again. It's been, I don't know, 6 months? 6 months. We'll
Something
assume
like
six
that.
months. Yeah, it's been a long time. Sorry
It's been a
about that.
while.
I'm Gion, by the way. I'm a staff member. And with me are Machukyo.
I'm Toshiro. I am coach of Rugrats and also staff member.
I'm Malachi. I'm staff, and I do a ton of the behind-the-scenes work that goes on.
I'm Donut. I'm coach of androids and staff of both TOP and maining staff.
Yeah. So it's been a while. Things was kind of hectic during the 2022 season. 2022? 2021 season.
Yeah, 20.
2021, 2022 is upcoming.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a break before it starts, but things are already revving up a bit as there's been a lot of changes once the season ended. So how about we jump in and start with the biggest of them? We got a new character, which everyone probably knows because there was a whole reveal trailer on the channel, but still, Jiren!
Yes.
Yep, the big buff boy here.
Graced us with his presence.
Yeah.
To answer a few potential questions about him, he is on Sentai. That the team gets him immediately as an immediate pickup. No one's going to contest them for that. They get to decide who they drop for him. I think they get a little bit by the time the ad drop deadline occurs. So they'll figure out who he replaces, but they have him. It's guaranteed. And he's a big boy with a lot of damage and some crazy moves.
And
So
they just gonna have to figure them out on their own because we've seen the test, and I refuse to help Sensei in terms of telling them how they can destroy my team. So.
But yeah. So that was the biggest thing that's happened. But aside from that mod, there's still been a whole slew of others that I'm gonna let Mal take over and explain.
So just to recap some of the other stuff that's been announced in the off-season before we get to the next big thing, we did not have any nerfs coming up, but we have also released a few other mods. The primary ones that are coming for the 2022 season, we've added 3 new yellow Pataras, which are mostly of interest to our active supporters. But very quickly, Broken Glow is 4 points. It's basically Halo without the health nerf, but it just gives you an attack and super -1. Ultra Divine Water, it gives you a +1 to all your stats, but you lose a bar of health. And Ultimate +1, which is, for those who remember, in ages gone by, when Cold would hoard all their Zenny just to spend it on their final match of the season, on as many Style the Strongs as they could buy. Ultimate +1 gives you that same ultimate damage boost for just 2 points instead of 4. We've already seen our team start to test with these and play around, have fun. It should mean you might see some bigger numbers on the screen when the B2s and Ultimates get thrown, and that should make for some exciting matches. We've also added, if you remember our Otherworld tournament map from the All-Stars, that's now something we're going to be using for special events on a more regular basis, sort of like Cell Games Arena and Mountain Road. If you follow our tests, you have probably already seen this, but all of the Boo characters, so Majin Buu, Evil Boo, Super Boo, and then Gotenks Gohan Boo and Kid Boo, they all have a new costume where they're now gray bubblegum instead of pink, or in Evil Boo's case, he is now pink bubblegum instead of gray. We're also keeping an eye out for other costumes for our teams. So if you see a costume you think would be really cool to see in the league, feel free to join the Discord and suggest it. There's also some other small fusion changes that we're making just to help us out a bit. N Goku and N Vegeta can now only fuse into Super Vegito, because base Vegito and Super Gogeta are free agent characters.
Super Gogeta isn't. Super Gogeta is on Cinema.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we don't
right.
want
Super
them to
Gogeta's
fuse into Cinema's character.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's see what else we got. There's not a significant number of master list changes. Jiren, of course, has been added to Sentai and Muscle, but also Resurrected Warriors master list. Muscle will also have Mid Vegeta added because of Super Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that was it for that, for master list changes.
Just because this will impact, now this is a bit more on the active side, but when selecting FAs, each team has a set of Zenny that they can use to pick up an FA, to bid on an FA. And the way that Zenny is determined is based off how well or how badly they did last season. Sentai would have had the most Zenny due to their bad performance last season, but with the addition of Jiren, they have been knocked down just a little, so now they have the second most Zenny, tied with Kaiju and Android. So just to keep things a little bit more balanced, you'll probably see Cinema picking up whoever they want, and Sentai coming in and grabbing someone else.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of the highlight reel of our major changes. But the next one is probably another very exciting thing. It got brought up in our modding stream a few weeks ago, but during that stream we showcased Kid Gohan, early Piccolo having transformations added to them. But as we pointed out there, the AI could not recognize that it had a transformation. Since that stream happened, in working with the Tenkaichi modding community, we have figured out how to make that happen. Since this was a bug already affecting Super Buu, we are for the 2022 season, Super Buu will be able to transform into Gotenks Buu on his own again. This was something that when we cut over to the North American version, apparently it was a regional difference bug that, in the old era of the league, it didn't matter because due to healing B1s, Boos couldn't start him in Super Buu form, and then when that was gone, Super Buu was still forced to have a Broly's ring, and it was not until newly where we realized, hey, wait, Super Buu can't transform. I think that's everything we got for right now in terms of league changes.
Yeah, modding and league changes, that should wrap it all up.
Yeah. And if you're on YouTube, you guys have definitely noticed we've started doing shorts on DBZ League. Just highlighting moments for what we got. Just some... go ahead.
I was going to say, so basically we're trying to get, outside of YouTube, we're trying to get a little bit more active in our social media. So you may see a little bit more activity in terms of on the Twitter and everything like that, and sharing our our shorts and all. But we've also opened up a TikTok. So if you are on TikTok, and if you're willing to give us a follow, it will be very much appreciated for one. But we are taking the community's favorite moments and everything from the 2021 season, and we are cutting them up so we can go ahead and put them out. So we
do have a community post with a a survey, a little Google form where you can submit any highlights, any moments that you found were really fun, really cool, really hype, whatever you liked about it. As long as it's short and can be made into a short, put that in there, write out what it is, give us, if you can, a little snippet of where we could grab it from, which week or which video, and it may turn into a short.
Oh yeah.
We're trying to get as much of the community's favorite moments as possible, and we're still working on that and hope to make this a reoccurring thing. But yeah, go on TikTok, follow us there. You're going to see a lot of it show up, hopefully.
Yeah, and we're also going to be hopefully a little more active with our other social media presence as we move forward. We're always looking to get more viewers and more supporters. The more the merrier. The more people that join us, the more we can do. And we got all sorts of fun stuff already planned. But as I said, the more the merrier.
Yeah, we're gearing close to that 1,000 subscriber goal. We're almost there, guys. Just if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do it now. Keep up with all the Dragon Ball Z League content.
Oh, and one more thing we forgot to mention. We have not finalized quite all the details yet, but we are looking at potentially having Tapion available to transform into Harudegarn. That way we can start experimenting. Now, Harudegarn is very powerful, and so there will be some nerfs that we are working on figuring out, but that is something that we think will be quite exciting for everybody.
Oh yeah. Was there anything else regarding any changes?
Not that comes to my mind directly. Just little notes for anybody wondering what content's coming up soon, because outside of the shorts there hasn't really been much. Next Saturday on the 22nd, we will have the tag team tournament stream. So this is a reoccurring event that we've done the last 2 off seasons. The best character from every team is taken, they're built for, and then they're placed with one other person from a random team to create a 2-man pairing, a tag team, to go into a bracket, a tournament bracket, to see which tag team duo is the strongest. I think the last 2 seasons it was Majin Vegeta and Kid Trunks, and then Majin Vegeta and Kid Goku. So currently Majin Vegeta is undefeated.
Yep.
But yeah, come out and check that out, and we should have another event starting not too long after that one. So keep an eye out. And then after that, I think in mid-February, we have the TOP. If you're a fan of that, it's random teams are created with a slightly different difficulty, completely new rule set for how these teams are set up. It's 3 people, different healths. It's a lot of chaos and really fun, and you guys should check it out.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right. Should we move on to questions?
Yeah.
Questions? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's start with Discord then.
and I
All
can,
the way to,
okay.
You want to take it on? Go for it.
I don't mind either way. The first question that we have is from N3X. And his question is, have you ever thought of having a guest over like the previous league? So how we used to have, we had what, Rhyme Style or Christopher Sabat and all. Anyone want to take that?
Sabbath?
Hmm?
I think he was particular about it being Sabbath.
Listen, I just yeah.
Oops.
Well, whatever.
If you haven't watched this video, sorry.
Well, now he's never coming on as a guest.
Ah, dang.
I mean, we'd love to. Getting guests would be really fun, first and foremost, but it also help us grow a ton. Just bringing in other people who are in the same space of Dragon Ball Z as us, or Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. and, just sort of expanding and letting you guys get something new and fresh with a guest coming in for either an event in specific or a full stream like it's happened in the past.
Yeah, I would definitely want to be against it at all. But I think since we doing a reboot and we're growing, it's probably going to be a little bit longer, possibly before we can actually, get someone that is either well known or help. Like even if we did get someone, like it just depends on where we're at right now. But don't be concerned. We are thinking about that in the future. So
yeah, it was amazing how many of you guys jumped over to help us boot this up when we first started this new league. But we're all things considered, we're still relatively small, even compared to where the old league was at. So it will take a little bit as we constantly work there, but we're working and everything's being added, and hopefully that'll attract more people to watch.
Yep.
Anything else that you guys want to add, Donut or Malachi?
Nope. I mean, it just kind of goes back to what G said. We're still growing. We're still trying to grow, and while having guests on would definitely help to that end, we've also just got to deal with the resources we have, and right now some of it's just we don't have those resources. But the more that people like and subscribe, and the more we can bring in new people to help us make this a bigger community, the easier that'll be.
Okay. All right, so the next question is from Dorgard. So his question is, last year staff allowed teams to revert their B2 names or Blast 2 names, so the supers. We allowed them to revert the B2 name changes. So would renaming be on the menu for this season? So for the people that may have not noticed, like Turles, his the little circle B2 or super that he does is actually called Kill Driver, but in the 2020 season it was called Fruit Loops. Or Tien's tribing is called Geometry. So what do you guys think? Like, I don't know, because I think that goes into modding a bit. Correct.
That is absolutely modding.
So.
Yeah, I mean, the plan was always for it to be back this year. Last year was more of a let's just reset the baseline wherever possible, and from here on out, the names would be considered their quote-unquote default names. Just because it would take more effort to go back and reset and try and reset back to the original version. Things probably will work a little differently than they did last year. I am probably gonna, I have not made a final decision on this, but since I'm the one who does a lot of that modding, I'm probably going to require teams to come up with that name by the end of ad drop, just to give me a little more time to work on the B2 renaming, because sometimes that can be a little finicky.
Yeah, so, I believe it requires you to do it on all costumes as well, which adds extra time.
Now that I know what I'm doing, it doesn't take quite as long to do it on all costumes. Mm-hmm. It has more to do with sometimes if you don't get the name quite right, it won't show up right, or sometimes you do it right, but for some reason it doesn't show up at all, and it's not clear why. And I've had trouble with that in the past. Vive, one of the guys we work with over in the Tenkaichi modding community, has been phenomenally helpful with that. But even there's been a few times where he is just like, yeah, I just did it myself, here you go. I couldn't figure out what was going wrong there. But yeah, that's probably how things will play out this year and in years going forward, just to give us a little more time to figure that, just to get through any issues we might hit.
Yeah. To be a bit more upfront and like plain about the answer, we haven't. I don't think we've discussed it directly yet this season. There's just been a lot of other things we've had to get out, and there's been kind of nonstop announcements because of that. But I don't think we have a reason not to at least look into bringing it back. And as Mal said, if we get teams' answers quick enough, it should be doable.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, on to the next question.
Next question is from Fat Happy. Now that Jiren has been added to the league, should we expect to see more new characters in future seasons?
Short answer, hopefully yes. It's a difficult yes, though, because
God, yes.
with Jiren's arrival, we didn't really mention this because, I mean, but we lost someone when Jiren arrived. He kind of murdered Frieza Soldier and took his place. Wearing his skin.
Remember those trailers and everything? Yeah, no, that really did happen. He flat out, he's done. He's out. He doesn't exist.
He murdered him. Yeah, so Dragon Ball Z League is a cruel reality where the only way to join it is to kill someone and take their spot. So that's what Jiren's done, and in order for anybody else to join the league, they're gonna have to kill someone, and it's hard. But yeah, speaking outside the jokes, it just means modding. While it's doable, it's very tough. It's very time consuming. Jiren was we knew we were gonna do and bring in Jiren basically at the start of last season. At least in some form, we knew we were gonna do it. There was a lot of discussion around it, but then the actual modding process was like a 3 to 4 month endeavor, I think. And it sped up a lot. A lot of it was done at the end. There were so many changes at the end.
All the testing for Jiren ended up being done in October and November, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of testing, a lot of tweaking. I mean, we were even debating other changes, like, up until the official reveal, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, even Vive was making animation changes up till the last minute. And I mean, I think we can be proud of the work that got done. I think it looks fantastic. But all that to say, like, it's a lot of work, not just on the modding side, but on the side of making sure that this character is not overpowered or underpowered.
There's the balancing in the league context. There's the actual making the mod function. There's the well, this was sort of an added thing to some degree, but the production side of making the whole introducing the character more than just, oh yeah, he's in the roster now. You guys didn't notice?
Yeah.
Which was its own journey and work. But yeah, there's a lot of steps, and the modding itself it has a lot of, there's an endless amount of ways we can polish it and make it nicer. And we do have our own standard where we don't want to bring in a character that looks janky with a model that looks like the limbs are broken every time they throw a punch, or all they have are 3 beams for every B2 and alt. We want them to be unique. We want them to be fun.
And let's not forget, we also don't want models that will make the game run at half speed.
That too, yeah. There was the whole Broly thing in the modding stream.
Yeah, and I mean, part of the reason why we did that modding stream was to show, like, look, a lot of mods look great, but it really does take a lot of work to go from just looking great to being great.
Yeah. And then going back,
shout out to Vi for being awesome.
Oh yeah, Vi. Yes. The amount of work he put in and the amount of doors he's opened for modding with the league has been insane. So big shout out to Vive and to the Tenkaichi Budokai modding community in general. They've been a huge resource. And it's where Vive originally we met him, so that too.
Hey, we always ask with modders and everything like that.
Yeah, we did ask.
And
We did it, guys.
We learned
That
about
one.
it. We took that joke. We learned about it, and Mal's our resident modder, and we got Vibe and the rest of the community too. So there we
Took it as
go.
a challenge. But yeah, so everything, there's just a lot of layers on top of who are we removing to bring in this new character, and is this new character worth bringing in over the character we're losing? Which, as we add in more characters, will be a harder and harder question to say, yes, they're worth bringing in.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's everything that we needed to add. Next question comes from Buzz. So this is a TOP question. Well, more so an opinion. Each staff's most anticipated TOP team, whether because of the theme or a particular character, who are you looking forward to watching fight the most?
Pull up the,
I haven't looked at every single
Yeah,
team.
let's pull up
I've
the
just seen
teams
some of the
real quick. Hold up.
names.
Yeah, I just put the teams in the chat. Donut, if you want to start us off, I mean, you are our resident
Shut
TOP
up.
staff.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Mr. Ink. I like the name. It has 17 on it, so yeah. I'll go with Mr. Ink.
I have
I like that.
some bias there. Don't like it.
Mystery.
Ah. No bias, no bice.
Mhm.
Obviously.
I like the fault in our builds. I think it's just funny.
Yeah, yeah. Off the
And I also
movie.
I get the idea. I have no idea what the graphics team is going to do for the banner, but I get the idea that Dr. Giro is going to be like a therapist.
Maybe they listen to this and you're giving them
Yeah,
ideas.
maybe.
now.
Hey.
Hey, there's an idea, guys.
Mine probably has to be cannon fodder,
Okay.
just because this will be Frieza's Soldier's swan song.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
My way.
And then just because I really want to see if this team can do well, just because in the context of the league, this is like one of the weakest possible teams you could have. And
Yeah.
I'm actually really curious to see what happens here.
I think the only way you can get weaker if you put like as Goldo and Chi-Chi or something like that in, right? Instead of a Poo and Kui, right? Arguably.
I mean, arguably, but I would honestly rate Goldo. Like, if you put him on like a Key +2 build, he's probably better than a Pool or Kui. Well, maybe not Kui, but maybe
Well,
a Pool.
Hear me
Just doing
out.
that LVP build, right?
Grandpa Gohan instead of Quick.
Ooh.
Oh,
That guy never gets picked up.
Pete doesn't. That's really sad, man. Even when he does, he's on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's sad too, because like I think he is probably. I think Grandpa Gohan is potentially better than at least 2 of the 3 characters there.
Yeah.
But
Eh, he's like a worse Master Roshi.
yeah,
He is.
yeah.
Um,
Tosh.
well, I have a bias, obviously, because I am participating in TOP this year for the first time.
Yes,
So
yes.
besides, because my undisputed elite, I gotta see Baby Vegeta and Goku just put in that work. But if I didn't have to choose my own team, I don't know if I see them on here. It's a team that is, I know Destiny and Buzz are running that team. It's with Super 17 and Teen Gohan, and I think Spopovich. It's just an odd team to put together, I think, and I'm very curious to see how it works out.
Yeah, I think they were one of the few teams that didn't request banners, so I don't know which one. But yeah, that sounds like a fun team to watch too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, wait, do they have like a weird name?
Yeah, it's the one with the Aaron Yes people.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. Eren, yes, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
But
On to the next.
I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah.
On to the next question.
All right, next question is from Havoc. will there ever be a new roster shuffle in the future like we did when we switched from the old league?
Hopefully not while I'm a staff member.
I don't.
I'm assuming he means like a mass roster shuffle, right?
I don't know if
I
mass
think
like
he means.
a big one, but like even like with retiring a few teams. Because
I think he means like looking at the whole, like what we did when this league was starting up, where we looked at the entire league and said, okay, what can we move around to make things fresh and sort of update it and make it a little clearer in some areas, a little more defined in others, and give it a bit more options here and there. For whatever purpose we would do that shuffle, I think he's just talking about that type of shuffle. I personally don't want to go through that again. It is so much work and so much stress.
I would actually have to agree with that, because personally, while it's great to see new teams, the other thing that you really got to account for is that the people on the team and if they do have a lot of supporters and that's the team that you're trying to get trying to like replace with someone else, or it can cause some issues. So I'm not like 100% sure if I would want to do this, like at least not anytime soon.
The league as is, I mean, there's never going to be a perfect situation, but it's in a good spot. I don't feel like we would need to do this anytime soon, and we could probably coast to the end of the league with the current general teams as we have them, with maybe a couple updates here or there if it really comes into necessary. But yeah, it's that sort of roster shuffle. There's like an unprecedented amount of stress that comes with it from a staff end, because you're micromanaging every team, like every supporter and every coach and everyone who's invested in these teams. And people are really invested in these teams. Like they spend hours and days working on builds and testing, and like they care about these teams, rightfully so. So it like saying, oh yeah, we're gonna change it. We're gonna massacre it. It's not even gonna be called the same thing anymore. Some people take it in stride. Other people are like, but I like my old team. What's the issue? And they have a point sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely.
And I mean, I also point out, like, unlike in the old league, like we have a lot more mechanisms by which, if you're feeling bored with your team, while for some teams it's still a challenge, like you can still find ways to trade for different characters. And it's not just, oh, if I drop a decent character, I'm locked into a bad character. But with the introduction of loans and trades, like there are more mechanisms by which to say, hey, I want to get I'm trying to think of a good example. But like if if Androids wanted to trade Cell for 13, for a season, like they can now. Like it might be hard to find a way to actually make that trade work, but you could potentially find a way to make something work there and still get a lot of that new feeling of, hey, this is a team that feels really different. Like Budokai, I think, probably made the best use of that, because season 2020 they were Team Goku, and last season they really felt like a different team when you had 18 and Yamcha replacing 2 of the 3 Gokus.
Mm-hmm. And that brings up another point with this the current shuffle that we've already had happen. There's so many opportunities and routes that teams can take to continuously make their team different or new or fresh in some way, and with like the continuous expansion of the trading and loaning systems, there's even more now available, and there's new Kataras and new mods and there's so many new things already. It'd be a shame to switch things up before we ever got close to seeing what everyone could come up with.
Okay.
So yeah, it probably won't happen.
Do you have anything to add, Donut? Or you good?
No, I think that really covers it.
Okay. So the next question is coming from Snuffy Sam, and her question is: any thoughts on how the new Pataras have been used so far, and any unexpected characters using them?
I expect literally every character to get at least one test on them, because you guys have done... I just want to point this out. I don't know if anyone's realized there's almost 850 tests done right now. It's not even been a full month. Y'all are a little insane. Thank you, the testers, but holy...
We don't sleep at all.
Yeah. You guys are... There's so many tests coming out that I literally expect everyone to get a chance on every new Patara, because why the hell not? You got the time.
Yep.
I'm expecting, I don't know. I literally have no expectations with this stuff. Just use it and we'll see what you do.
Yeah, like... I think the only truly unexpected one for me was probably Raccoon on Ultra Divine Water.
Oh, but that
just
works
because,
so well.
But it has been really surprising how well it has worked for him. There are other people that, like, just full disclosure, I did a lot of the testing for the new Pataras. You guys have no idea how long I was stuck in the testing dungeon
We
for
throw him
all
in the
these
testing
things.
dungeon and we don't let him out until he gets a significant...
Well, hold on a second. With the Pataras, it's more like he dove in there by himself.
Fair.
Yeah.
Because I was having a lot of fun with that. But
the Pataras were very much his brainchild.
I will give credit to Snuffy for Ultra Divine Water. She came up with the initial idea, which was basically taking all the Rage Pataras and giving you those effects. But in the context of the League, it seemed like it was just better to give everything a straight +1, since once you take away a health bar, you're only going to get the +1 on your last bar of health. So, but yeah, so just all that to say, like, there's a few characters who I think these Pataras would do really well on. I have not seen be tested with. Again, since I did the testing, I can't say too much, but there's also been a lot of characters that I have seen a few tests on. They seem to do well, and I think they're worth testing more on.
I just can't wait for one character to pop off with a new Patara during the main season, and then everybody try to use that build.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not happening, right?
I will say that... Oh, but...
I honestly think there is some amazing potential with, like, Broken Glow on characters with 2 Barbie 2s, and just put a key bonus on them. Super +1 launches Broken Glow. That's all you need. Just throw it out there.
There are a few characters that I will actually probably say, outside of so like me and Cold, for freaking what is it, Final Form Frieza, and for Super Saiyan Kid Trunks, both of them having a max power B1 and ultimate +1, ult spam galore. And then I seen Kid Buu. Dora came up with a build for Kid Buu where I think he was on Super 2, UDW, Quick Fast Attack, and then Savior. So essentially he was running a Super +3 with Attack +2 and everything. Like, some of these builds, I didn't expect them to work. Even Bootanks had run Broken Glow for a good bit and it worked out, I think.
Man, I really want to see someone try this. It is so unoptimal, but it's basically that build, except instead of Savior and Quick Fast Attack, it's just Ultimate +2 and hope to get up. Or Ultimate +1 and hope to get up.
That's what you do. You put Team Gohan on, right? Have him transform. There you go.
No. We are not giving hybrids. We are not giving hybrids any ideas. They're in my Kai this year.
Too late.
Well, I mean, no one's even talked about how we might be revamping the gauntlet here. Keep on going, G. I need more ideas.
Well, in that case, Super +3.
Yeah.
And you do give the Savior, because screw the rules.
I'm sure it's broken build, right?
Exactly.
It just max out that damage. I wonder how high it can get. Anyway,
It'd probably one-shot someone, right? Like, no
I,
doubt.
I wonder if you can do that. With just
I've heard
cards.
Ryan say something about Super Saiyan Trunks, adult Trunks, being able to hit 35k potentially if he stacks 1 or 2 finish signs with
He has
different
one
stuff like that.
of the strongest natural alts in the game. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's GT
So-
villain level, but it's pretty high.
So, just to give people an idea, so when I was doing the gauntlet testing for, I think it was the 2020 season, I did a lot of the testing to balance rounds 2 and 3, and technically 4 as well. Base N Goku with Super Plus 3 and Style of the Strong could hit about 28k to 30k roughly.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them fuse into Super Vegito and pull off a 38k final Kamehameha. So you can get some pretty. Now that was also with some procs of indignation on there, but I mean you can get pretty high up to where these are literally a one shot it under the right circumstances.
I mean, it definitely happened. I had, and I'm done after this. I've had one test where I had Gotenks, Super 2 and Indignation, just Super 2 and Indignation stats. He did his ulti, and he did 27k on Scout of Vegeta. Just imagine that with O plus 1. I think he did stack 1 finish sign with it, but yeah, no, this season is the year for spammers, I think.
Yeah. And to be clear, that was the intent behind some of these first Bataras, was to give the B2 characters a little more variety and a little more stuff to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can say success there.
Were you about to say something, Donut? Or
No.
okay. All right.
Moving on.
So, next question comes from Havoc again. Is there any desire by staff to mod in any new maps?
Yeah,
So, yeah,
we've done it before.
we've done it with the Otherworld tournament and
TOP.
yeah, TOP, yeah.
That was the first one, which was so fun.
And I think
That's really
those
cool,
those are the only 2, correct?
Well, there
So
was
far,
the
yes.
modding showcase that Mal did, but those
yeah.
aren't officially in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of those probably would not come in for one reason or another.
They're not perfectly made.
Yeah. I will make a note that when we did say that we are preparing for new maps, but we have not committed to any new maps. For similar reasons that, like with characters, you mod in a character, you have to replace an old character.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't announce it earlier, but we are now treating all the 3 time of day maps, so like morning, evening, night, as if there are 2. And you can only choose between like evening and night or morning and night, in order to prepare the way for that.
Yeah, so now we have a couple of extra maps that we're not using that we can use for new maps.
Yeah, and just to make it clear, we're keeping night maps as reserved because kaiju.
Yep.
Yes.
It's important for the apes.
Yes. Otherwise, it'd
Yep.
be kind of not helpful to the theme, would it?
Sorry guys, you can't transform anymore.
But as a whole thing, that's it. That's what you do. But yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Next question is from Dorigard again. And he says, I know it's been asked several times before, but could we look into streaming on Twitch or at least adding it to the list? Because it's a lot easier to get random people to catch the stream on Twitch than on YouTube, since it doesn't really push out streams.
So I kind of want to take this really quick because this is a perpetual discussion we have. Twitch is a weird situation. It's, yeah, technically the algorithm, because it's not as like well defined, your stream can pop up on people's feeds easier. But it's also it's honestly harder to grow on Twitch in general. Unless you already have a base that you're gonna jump into Twitch, we sort of do, but I don't think there's a situation soon, and I don't know if we do it in the future either, where we completely migrate from streaming on YouTube to streaming on Twitch. And that would be the main way that we get a huge chunk on Twitch immediately.
Okay.
Outside of that, growing on Twitch is tough. All things being honest here, it's like, yeah, technically random people can see your thing, but the algorithm is also a little horrible. And there's not really a way to promote yourself with like videos that easily. I've never seen videos pop up on feeds. I'm okay with discussing it again, but it's a matter of, it would have to be both. And there's always the issue of we have to dedicate extra time, resources, and people to manage that second one, which is honestly a lot of work. It's an entire second streaming platform. And then we also have to figure out, from the streamer's end, managing one streamer streaming to both and sort of keeping a track of both to make sure both streams are functioning, which we've never done before. It might be easy, it might be hard. We don't know. There's just a lot to it. So, while yes, it's technically on the list to continue discussing, I don't think we've had a huge motivation to do it. There's not a big enough gain from it right now.
It really would be beneficial. I think one other thing that comes to mind for me is that some of my streamer friends, I know they used to dual stream. But the thing is, when we get to a certain point, let's say we do grow a fair amount on Twitch, okay, well, then we become like affiliate or end up like going down that road. You can't multi-stream. So yeah, it kind of goes until you have to dedicate to one of them, and who knows, like if we have constant like content going to YouTube. But then when you think about it, how much does the streams help and everything too with that, possibly? So, and how much will it hurt if we don't have those streams on YouTube as well? So we can always put the VOD over on YouTube, but we don't know how that's going to really work out. And that's a big, at least in my eyes, it's a big risk that I'm not sure I'm good to take right now. And everything, I'll definitely, if we cross the road for affiliate, then that's just whatever. But
I'm curious. I don't think I remember if being partnered, like being to the point where you can monetize on YouTube. Does that restrict your streaming on Twitch? Or no?
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
No.
We probably wouldn't get affiliated with Twitch anytime quickly, so we can absolutely look at dual streaming. Again, it's just like we'd have to see how valuable it'd be, and my initial thought on it is always there's so much work that comes with it, and so much extra management that right now it's not high priority.
It's not completely off the table, so just to put that. All right. I guess there's nothing else to add. The last question is kind of following up on it. It's from Donzo. So he said, follow up on Dora's question. Would it might be worth running replays on the Twitch channel if simulcasting isn't a viable option? That could possibly work. I guess in that case, we just need to make sure whoever's running it, I guess, is available.
Yeah, we
to
would
do
need
so
someone
every week.
dedicated to handling our Twitch. Yeah, potentially. I don't know how recasting on Twitch works, but we can look into it. It's definitely, and that would lead into an easier way of seeing if Twitch is a viable area for growth for us. Because again, I'm hesitant on the idea that just because your streams might pop up on people's not recommendations, sort of like front page if they scroll down, that we're gonna get more new viewers consistently. Because my understanding is it's actually harder to continuously grow on Twitch than it is on YouTube. Like, it doesn't re-recommend people you've watched before but didn't follow on Twitch is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
The algorithm kind of sucks.
I would definitely be fun. Definitely looking into Twitch, mainly because with Twitch, I like the whole rating system that they have. And if you can create a good, like, relationship with other people, that can really help you out in a sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, different things.
Yeah.
That
There's
is
lots of things to look at.
okay, and that is actually all the questions on Discord.
got a
Now,
few on
also keep in mind, you guys, like I said earlier, that we are trying to get better with our social media presence and everything. So we posted up on YouTube a community post basically asking you guys to leave comments and ask us questions for the next Dragon Cast, and we'll can probably continue to do this in future episodes. So the first question on YouTube is from Lasting Ember, and his question is there going to be any new teams introduced in a season? Also, love the stuff you guys are that you guys do. Appreciate it. We kind of answered the question earlier in terms of the reshuffling, but in terms of new teams,
No.
probably not now.
Yeah.
No, not now.
No, not this season.
Yeah.
It's not really something we're looking to do, and like we said, while this isn't about fully reshuffling, even adding a new team is a hectic and difficult process, and only something we do if we feel it's absolutely necessary. At the moment, we don't feel like that's the case for any team, that they need to be changed up. So, no. As simple as it is.
Yeah. I mean, at most, if you ever have a theme or a team idea and an idea behind it, like, I would always say still suggest it. We may use it for an event, kind of like how we've been changing up the All-Stars events, or, you know, and we look to do other off-season events. Like, we may pull team themes from that, or for some of those off-season stuff where, you know, we may not necessarily need to be limited to the normal league teams. But yeah, for regular league teams, no. I would very much not like to do that again unless we absolutely have to.
Yeah. There will be likely changes amongst the teams in terms of who they pick up and drop and loans. Man, there have been a lot of trade and loan talk in the first month of this off season. So who knows what the teams will look like? They'll be the same teams, but they may be different coming into the new season. And if you want to see new teams entirely, TOP is going to start next month, and those teams are fresh and insane. So go check them out.
All right, the next comment is still from Lasting Ember, and it's not really a question, but I think this is more directed to, our dear Androids coach. If anyone's going to pick up First Form Cell, he's honestly his favorite character. So do it.
That. Yeah. We have tested Imperfect Cell quite a bit, and we do have plans to actually do a little bit more testing on him. So he's still on the table right now for a potential pickup. The likelihood of it, not high in comparison to other ones, but we are looking at all options, is why I to give you.
So what I'm hearing is that we're going to force you to pick him up.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Force Jiro, Force 19, Force Imperfect. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
I love Imperfect as well.
Don't go against Jiro. Jiro has been actually pulling 60k performances and tests.
True.
True, he has, yeah.
Do it,
enough,
you
right?
won't, you coward.
I have actually, during this call, no, peek behind the scenes here, I actually DM'd my supporters and said, hey, we want to do some testing on 19 and Jiro. I did my
You
message.
actually want to let go of your dear 19 for the better?
No, we're not testing 19 Andrew.
Actually,
by
you
the way.
know, that left a bad taste. For people who don't know, I'm a former Android supporter too. Me and Malachi and Donut, we were all on the same team for multiple seasons. So like, we're kind of in this, you know, I don't like Jiro club,
It's
or I
rough.
hate Jiro club.
I see. Being a supporter taints your mind with the wrong opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, considering
You spin it that way.
I'm still the sitting president of the I Hate Giro Club,
Yeah.
you know, say about that what you will.
It
we
sounds
have
like
a
Mal
class
poisoned the well. No.
Yeah, we have we have the founder of the I Hate Giro Club and the founder of the 19 Fanboy Club. So
Which that should
same
never
club.
be a club. But
that,
I digress.
hey, Boofy's part of that club, by the way.
What
At
we
least-
need is Android 13, the little drunk purple guy. That's what we
Okay, yeah.
need.
Yo, Muscle, hit us up, right?
Does he get to join Rugrats? He's short.
No, not 13. What was it?
No, 14. Yeah.
14,
14,
yeah.
not 13. 14.
I'll
We
take
did-
13 over 14, not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
we can have the alcoholic be one.
Oh God.
Was that like, is that gonna be like champion style? But like drunk style?
Yeah. No, it's just another name for false courage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
gosh,
I mean,
no.
yeah, which courage.
Yeah.
Make it
Drunk
modest.
courage.
I mean, yeah. Well, let's
Alright.
put modest.
Uh.
Don't worry about it.
All right, so this next question is come from Estevez, and it's a little bit of a long one.
Okay.
So how do you find the idea about a kill list? So he explains it here. Every fighter who are recommended in the team for the league is on the list. You have then a big list with all the fighters from all 16 teams. Every kill for a fighter in the fight counts as a point. For the fighter, and some fighters get 2 kills in a match. Then they earn. Okay, it's kind of.
Yeah, I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Basically, we're just tracking how many downs or kills a fighter gets in each
Mhm.
match, and then we just total up
Pretty much.
who is the most lethal fighter by the end of the season and have an award for that.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, but at the end of the season, they will have it for being the most deadliest fighter.
So here's the thing: in the old league, there was a fantasy league, and there was like a betting.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Scuddy used
and
to
there
run
was like
that one.
Scotty used to run a fantasy league, and I think downs were a part of how character scores were tracked, at least for a couple seasons. So this has sort of happened before. It's a little out of the realm of our current systems. It might. I don't know if this is a beneficial stat for a team, to be honest, because the AI doesn't recognize when a character near death. But it could be a cool thing to do if we ever go the route of another fantasy league, and to sort of let people keep track of that, or if someone just ends up wanting to keep track of that themselves and keeping it going.
Yeah.
Creating like awards for characters is something I've wanted to do in the past. There's a lot to it though.
Oh yeah, I remember when we were first trying to like talk about all of this stuff. I remember at one point I mentioned we should have like medals because I was thinking like, you know, like Halo Reach and all that stuff, how you can get like double kills and all that stuff. But I never really followed up on that. It would be cool to have something like that to, you know, if you have a banner or if you have something to personalize for each character on your team, just add those medals on there. But
yeah. Speaking of which, we are trying to do something going forward with at least the top 3 teams in the playoffs. Akin to that, so they've got their own little frames in for their first place, second place, and third place positions that'll carry into the next season. So you'll get to see their nifty, nice, updated and upgraded banners as a showcase of what they achieved. And if we do, and in the old league, it sort of happened at team's choice when they were creating their own banners. Some teams would put like MVP champion beneath one of the characters, or West Sky or East Sky champions underneath their entire banner if they had the highest record in the league for their Kai, or 20 or season 5 champions if they had won the ball for that season. So it's not off. it's not impossible for something like that to happen again. Have banners be a bit more personalized with achievements. Though, if we were to do it from a staff and overall league end, we'd have to figure a way to standardize it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the other thing it could be fun for would be like some of the supporters have done tier lists for weeks of the season.
Mhm.
Make sure you watch Captain
and
Bass.
something like this. Yeah, make sure you watch Capsule Cast. And so stuff like that could be useful for those fan done tier lists.
Yeah, I think I think Capsule Cast is actually like a good spot if they want to take on handling like tier lists, which I think they've done before.
Yeah, we have,
You guys showcase the tier list.
Yeah, a couple of them done from Oasis and Fila, Nemitz and Dubs coaches.
Yeah, but if you guys want to do something or to showcase, like if there was a fantasy league going on, I think the Capsule Cast would be the right place to showcase that. It'd be hard to fit it into a main league stream, exactly, like in the middle of a match, talk about the fantasy, but Capsule Cast is always sort of like a free-form conversation at all times.
Yes.
So yeah, but that's up to them. They got full control over how they handle that.
Yeah, I can talk to them and be like, hey, are you down?
Yeah. Well, first we need a fantasy. And,
Yeah, that would be step one. Step one.
that would be step one. So everything depends. It's a cool idea with the kill list.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to see if it's worth dedicating. I don't know if I'd do it, but if anyone wants to take it up, I'm more than cool with promoting it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that is actually all the questions from YouTube. With that, I believe we've come to the end. Is there anything else that you guys would like to say before we close out?
We will try to be more consistent with the Dragon Cast going forward. Apologies for the massive wait. I know there's probably been a lot of questions throughout the season that people would have liked to ask that we hadn't had a chance to fully answer. But hopefully we'll be more consistent with this, especially during this off season.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But yeah, besides that, anybody else? Closing thoughts?
Watch the upcoming streams. I think especially with
next.
Yeah, especially with the top 3 streams we're going to be doing. Between Tag Team and the TOP, or Tournament Power. I think people will enjoy those because it's something that has been requested for a while. So look forward to that. And then don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and join the Discord. And all our other social media platforms.
If nothing else, join the Discord. Even if you just want to lurk, you get more updates in here than anywhere else. True. And if you want to support a team, either passively, just rooting them on, or actively and actually help build for the team and be involved in that whole process, Discord is where you do it. This is the hub for the league at this point.
Yep.
Yep.
And also, lots of watch parties, both for tests, if you want to be like in a giant call, just listen in or talk to a bunch of people while they run their tests, or during the actual streams. Watch parties in the Discord chats. Happen all the time. Surprisingly, very big watch parties.
Yeah, voice chat generally gets busy a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it'd be a middle of the day, we have like 10 plus people just chilling in.
It's some of the biggest groups I've seen for such a small, relatively small server.
Yep.
All right, and with that, I've been Toshiro.
Benji.